You stopped investing in yourself. You stopped doing things that made you feel good. And at some point along the way, you stopped feeling like you were worth it. At the time, you may have felt like you were optimizing your life around what was convenient, but really, you were cutting out all of the things you felt you didn't deserve. You are worth it. You've always been worth it, and now it's time to invest in you again. I would define self care as taking care of yourself and doing things that make you feel a sense of self respect, that make you feel worthy and deserving, that make you feel empowered, and that make you feel confident in yourself and boost your self esteem. But also things that allow you to perform your best in the world and give you the energy you need to pursue different endeavors in your life. I think self-care is one of those things that allow you to show up in the world as your best self because you are doing what needs to be done to meet the needs that you know you have. And you're not waiting on someone to meet those needs for you or to come around and meet those needs for you. You're doing what you know needs to be done so you can feel and perform at your best. And that's how I would define self care. And I think it's important to define self care because there is a lot of talk about self care out on the internet. And it's part of, it gets looped in with the manifestation and all of that kind of talk, that woo woo talk, I guess you could say. But I think self care on a real practical level is incredibly important. Because when you don't take care of yourself, when you're not doing the things that allow you to feel good, your self-esteem is going to drop. Your confidence in yourself is going to drop. Your willingness and tenacity is going to drop. Because subconsciously you're telling yourself you don't feel worth it anymore. Your desire to live isn't as strong to where you're going to do what you have to make sure you feel good in your body. It's like you're giving up on life when you stop taking care of yourself. And I think it's incredibly important, so important, to delay that entropy as much as possible, to delay that feeling where it's just not worth it anymore. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but as people get older, a lot of the things that they did to feel young when they were young that allowed them to kind of continue to feel young and feel youthful and feel energetic as they get older and their life gets more complex, those are the things that they stop doing. And then now they have all this body pain and they have all this back pain. But when you were younger, you had all this energy because you were walking everywhere. You were running everywhere. You wanted to get things done now. You had this passion, you had this energy. But you also made sure to take care of your body. You pampered yourself. You wanted to make sure you felt good. You wore clothes that made you feel good. I truly feel that the energy we put into ourselves, into taking care of ourselves, into just pouring life back into ourselves is what allows us to go out and be ambitious, is what allows us to work hard. It is what allows us to be fearless and relentless and resilient. Because if you aren't taking care of yourself, who is? And I think that's the trap that a lot of people fall into because they're not taking care of themselves. So they're looking for a partner, they're looking for a friend that's going to do that for them. And they wonder why they can't find someone that's willing to stay in their life because it's not my job to make sure you feel good. It's not my job to make sure you're getting all these things. And as your friend, as your partner, I can gift you things. I can do things for you to show that I appreciate and care for you. But if I don't do those things, your sense of worth and your sense of deservingness cannot only be on me. You have to do that for yourself. You have to want that for yourself. That's what it comes down to. And if you want to perform well, you have to want to take care of yourself so you are more energetic. Take care of your mental health. Eat and do things that optimize your cognitive performance and cognition. You have to do those things. But also sometimes self-care looks like going to the spa, getting a manicure and pedicure, taking care of your body, staying on top of your bodily maintenance. Because if I'm being quite honest, I'm talking to myself here. Hopefully this helps you guys listening as well. But this is really me pointing the finger at myself, because I feel like I go through these moods in life where I'll be so invested in myself, getting my nails done regularly, getting pedicures done regularly, staying on top of like my grooming and all of this stuff. And then it gets to a point where it feels like a chore. At some point along the way, it feels like a chore, and it feels like too much, and it feels like I'm putting in too much money, and it's costing me more than I feel like I'm getting out of it. And I'm like, you know what? If I need to cut costs, let's cut this off. I don't need to be going to the pedicure twice a month. I don't need to do that. It's not that deep. Especially, this happens a lot in the winter months, especially when it starts to get cold and I'm wearing sneakers, I'm wearing closed-toe shoes anyway. I stop feeling like this is something that needs to get done. And so I stopped going. And then next thing you know, I stop investing in my clothes, and I stop trying to look nice, and I just get comfortable wearing leggings and t-shirts all the time and wonder why I don't feel pretty, wonder why I don't feel sexy, wonder why I don't feel how I used to feel. Then I pick it back up again. And for some reason, it took a conversation that I was having with my mom for me to realize at some point I just stopped feeling worth it. It's not. And some may see that it's a luxury to be able to go out and get pedicures however often, go out and get your nails done however often. But at some point, it has to stop feeling like a luxury and start feeling like a necessity. My nails have to be done. My toes have to be done because it's my body. It's the only one I get, and I have to make sure that I take care of it to the best of my ability. Someone has to be there to say, no, this isn't something we just do for kicks and giggles. This is a necessity. This is how I take care of myself. This is how I show up for myself. That's what it comes down to, because I respect myself so much, and my standard, my basic bare minimum standard for living is up here. For some people, their standard of living isn't that high, and that's fine. That is so fine. If you don't feel like you need a pedicure twice a month, you don't feel like you need to make sure you feel comfortable in your clothes and you're happy to wear whatever, it's okay. But what's not okay is to delude yourself into thinking that the activities that you do are just a luxury or just something you do because you like to do it. Be honest with yourself and say, I do these things because it helps me feel good about myself. And that's okay. No one is judging you for that. And if they are, who cares? Because it's not their body and it's not their life to live at the end of the day. But I just wanted to share this because I did this exact thing. I stopped going to get my nails done. I stopped getting my toes done. I stopped doing the things that I know made me feel good. And then it got to a point where I had this realization, having a conversation with my mom, where at some point along the way, I just stopped feeling worthy. I stopped feeling like I was worth it. And that started to just grow and manifest into this attitude of being afraid to live, being afraid to go out and be ambitious and do the things that I know I wanted to do the things that I know that I was capable of. And if you're listening to this, you probably feel the same way. And I'm making this episode because I went and I got I got a pedicure and a manicure, and it felt so good. It didn't feel good paying, but it felt so good to have my nails done, have my toes done again, to look at my feet and be like, wow, my feet look pretty. It feels good. And I realized that part of getting my going to the nail salon and getting mani pedis is not to splurge and to pick these colors and nail shapes and all that. It's to reinforce the belief that you have in yourself that you are worthy of being pampered. You're worthy of getting your nails done. You're worthy of getting a pedicure. You're taking care of your body. You're making sure that your body looks and feels good to you. That's why working out is so important. And I do believe working out is a form of self care because you are doing what you need to do so that your body feels good. You're taking care of your body. You only get one. So self care is incredibly important because that's how you reinforce to yourself how important you are to yourself. The person that's hardest to earn your respect is yourself. And whenever you take care of yourself, whenever you do the things that you know that are good for you, like working out, pampering yourself every once in a while, reinforcing the esteem you have in yourself, your confidence, your self-efficacy, doing things that reinforce that are what give you the confidence and the ambition to go out in the world and face rejection and stand tall and work hard and stand tall. How you invest in it can look different to you, but self-care is incredibly important. Now, in terms of ways you can practice self-care, I would say that you can, and this is for men and women. I think men can get manicures. You don't have to put a color on it if you don't want to. Just put a nice clear coat and you're good to go. But I think manicures and pedicures, having nice hands and feet, I think it just gives you a sense of cleanliness. So manicures and pedicures, working out, taking care of your fitness and your health, eating clean. Now, it's okay if you want to have something sweet once in a while or treat yourself to a special meal once in a while. That's okay. But I think eating healthily, taking care of your body, it's all self-care. Reading is self-care. Opening yourself up to new ideas is self-care. Opening yourself up to new experiences is self-care. It's only self-care if you feel like you need those things to feel good. You feel good after having a new experience despite how you felt before the experience. You feel good after experiencing something new. You feel good after getting a mani-pedi. You feel good after working out, and you feel good after eating healthily. If you feel good after doing all those things, then I believe it's self-care. Now, the frequency at which you do those things, that's something that you'll have to determine based on what looks good, what you can sustainably do, one, but also that you can commit to. So frequency is of how often you do these activities is going to be up to you. I think everybody should be working out regularly. That can be 2 times a week, 5 times a week, 6 days a week. But you need to at least take a day of rest. Rest is also important. And sometimes rest can be self-care. I think a lot of times people use rest. They say they're resting like, oh, it's self-care, I need to rest, when they haven't done anything to rest for. You are not working hard, so what do you need to rest? You haven't done anything. What are you resting from? You do nothing all day, and then you say you need to practice self-care and rest, but you've done nothing. So, rest is important though. But I do think, yeah, rest once a day. Cleanliness is a form of self-care. Being clean, having a clean space is a form of self-care. I think there's a reason why you hear the phrase cleanliness is next to godliness. I definitely think cleanliness is next to godliness, and I'm using God as a placeholder term for infinite divinity, infinite consciousness. Cleanliness can be self-care. You can hire someone to do the cleaning. You can do the cleaning. And especially if the process of cleaning makes you feel good, you like that before and after, you can do it. But I think, and again, pointing the finger at myself here, you need to invest more time into yourself. Invest more time and energy into doing things that make you feel good, that make you feel confident, that empower you, that fuel your drive to live. And if you want to be a high performer, I have yet to see someone that performs at a high level that doesn't care about themselves. And usually the people that do, that need to perform at high levels, usually when they don't invest in their self-care, they have a lot of self-destructive, self-sabotaging behaviors, like excessive drug use, excessive substance abuse, addiction issues, mental health issues, depression, anything of that nature. But there is always something there that they're battling with because they have so much demand in their life, in their professional career, but they're not doing the things to fuel themselves, to re-nurture themselves. They're not doing that stuff. So if you consider yourself a high performer, or you want to be a high performer, it starts with investing in yourself. Take care of yourself. Because what good are you to the organization that you serve if you're constantly sick? If you're emotionally unstable, if you're mentally unstable, what good are you to the world if you cannot perform? So it's important, especially if you want to be a high performer, to invest in yourself and take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Eat well. Eat a nutritious meal. Do those things. It's so important. Because if you don't do it, who's going to? You can't sit around complaining about, oh, my life is so busy. I got all this stuff to do. I have to be here for this person, here for that person. I have to do this, do that. No, start saying no to these people. You need time for you. The same way they want you to show up for them and their needs, you need to show up for you and your own needs. And stop using other people and the demands you let other people put on your life to stop you from investing in yourself and taking time for yourself. No one's going to say, hey, can you schedule this time for yourself to relax and get a massage and do whatever you need to do? No one's going to say that. They are looking for ways that you can serve them. How can you help me in this moment? That's what other people are thinking. They're not thinking, oh, she needs to take care of herself right now. Let me not ask her for help. Let me not ask her to do this for me. No, you need to take care of yourself. And you need to set the time aside to take care of yourself. That's it. No one's going to do it for you. And stop getting used to complaining because you think it sounds good about how much people depend on you and how much people need you and how overstretched you are and how overwhelmed you are. Stop doing that, because you're just reiterating to yourself that all these people come before you. All these people are more important than you. You cannot give from an empty cup. Self-care is important because if you don't care about yourself, no one else will. And it's important that you do what is necessary to take care of yourself and show up as your best self every day. No one can tell you what that looks like, how much energy you should or should not dedicate to self-care. I mean, if all your days are spent working on self-care, you're not actually doing things that you need to do to move the needle forward in whatever way that looks like to you, then maybe we need to revisit how much time you actually invest in self-care. But it should be enough where it's not bleeding into the other things that you have to do in your life, but it's refilling your energetic cup, refilling your mental cup. Building self-esteem and confidence in yourself. Raising that standard for the bare minimum that you will accept for yourself and other people. But it starts and ends with you. It starts and ends with you. A positive mindset hasn't killed anybody that I know of. But stay positive. Stay focused on your goal. Love on yourself. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.